This woman in Malaysia was driving her new Chinese car down the road. Then suddenly, and for no reason, the rear suspension broke and sheared completely off, making the wheel come loose. Had she been traveling at speed, her and her 3 friends in the car may not have survived. Oh look, another Chinese EV randomly catching on fire. And another. And this whole truckload of them spontaneously combusting. This, however, this is not just another Chinese EV catching on fire. This incident has exposed something terrible, insidious, and very, very important. I could sit here all day showing you random Chinese EVs bursting into flame, but no. I want to focus specifically on this high-end Huawei Wenjie M7, as it has just busted wide open how agonizingly deadly Chinese electric vehicles, even the expensive high-end ones, actually are. Before we get into it, you know what we have to do. I don't know about you, but I kinda like having peace of mind whenever possible. And when using the internet, it's very difficult to have peace of mind these days. There are so many exploits out there, malware, phishing, people trying their best to take advantage of you. Surfshark VPN gives me that peace of mind. It's my first line of defense, and I have it installed on all of my devices. Surfshark VPN masks your IP address and gives you that peace of mind. It gives you that extra layer of security. But not only that, it helps you with things like discriminatory price gouging. If you set your server to a different country, you'll find out that you can actually get deals like flights and rent-a-cars cheaper than if you were to order them from your own country. It's weird that way. Surfshark VPN is awesome though. Check it out to get some peace of mind, give yourself that extra little bit of security, and take advantage of all the extra services like being able to watch videos that are blocked in your country online. Go to surfshark.deals/serpentza and get a huge discount off of a 2-year plan, plus up to 3 months free. Hey babe, I just got us 3 months for free off of Surfshark. That's surfshark.deals/serpentza and use the code SERPENTZA. And now, back to the show. Chinese cars should never be trusted. On paper they seem like a good deal. And these days, because they copy designs from well-known and popular cars, they even look good. But reality is that quality control is a joke. Shortcuts are taken, and inferior materials, parts, and manufacturing processes always make it into Chinese cars. You can see that the suspension wasn't even welded properly. This came as a death trap from the factory. Places like Mexico that have been flooded with Chinese cars know all too well, with owners of Chinese cars deeply regretting their purchases as delays and lack of parts means that their cars sit broken and unusable for months at a time. Never mind the fact that they're dangerous, like this MG for instance, in which the airbag did not deploy in a serious accident, or this brand new SUV which, embarrassingly, has to be towed by a clapped out old micro Chevy. MG has been a fully Chinese car brand since 2007. Don't be fooled by the name. But what I want to talk to you about is this one particular incident which involves one of China's most expensive and revered electric cars, the Huawei Aito Wenjie M7. Yep, a luxury SUV loaded with Chinese government-backed Huawei technology. So what happened? 3 people were traveling on the highway in their M7 when it rear-ended a sprinkler truck. Guess those driver assist safety features like brake assist etc. don't work. Tragically, the driver was lost, and the father and 2-year-old child in the back could not be rescued because the doors refused to open and could not be opened. First responders and witnesses also noted that airbags had not deployed. So, the situation is this. Car rear ends a slow-moving sprinkler truck. According to witnesses, the airbags didn't deploy. Rescue workers tried to get the two passengers out of the rear, but the doors refused to open. They did manage to smash the rear window, but the car was quickly engulfed in flames. Electric vehicle fires are fierce and fast-moving. Nothing could be done to save the occupants. This, of course, sent a shockwave throughout the Chinese internet, as Huawei and this SUV are a point of Chinese pride. The idea that they're unsafe death traps in which people can unnecessarily die in agony because basic safety features like the doors being able to be opened and airbags not deploying could lead to your untimely demise had people up in arms. That's when the Chinese government censorship machine leapt into action, erasing and preventing anyone from talking about this tragic accident. That is, until the car company released an official statement. Very strange, but according to their statement, the car was traveling at 71 miles an hour at the time of the accident, and they stress that the airbags deployed normally. This has caused quite the controversy, as initially it was reported the airbags didn't deploy, and from our own eyes we can see that the side curtain airbags did not deploy. We would have seen them when the emergency worker smashed the window. They're kind of hard to miss. Here's an example of what they look like on a real brand of car. With the car completely gutted and destroyed by the chemical EV fire, it's now up to us to make up our own minds about it. The fact that witnesses and many posts online stated that the airbags had not deployed, and the fact that we often see high-end Chinese EVs and Chinese cars in general fail in this regard. Here's a brand new Xiaomi SU7, for instance, that although it was in a serious collision, it did not deploy its airbags. Or this top-of-the-line BYD Han, that also didn't deploy airbags in a serious collision. One can only assume that the initial reports were true, and that the reason that discussion of the accident was heavily censored until a damage control report was released about the accident from the company is because the Chinese Communist Party is afraid. They're afraid of the Chinese people losing confidence in these overhyped domestic products. They're afraid of people questioning the quality of Huawei, who are heavily tied to the Communist Party of China, and this car in particular. And also scared of this news going international. Right at the moment, they're trying to dump poor quality EV death traps around the entire world. Another twist to this story is that last year a well-known auto blog reported on the problem that the Huawei M7 car had an issue with the doors not being able to be opened in an emergency. They were attacked by Huawei supporters and nationalists, being accused of trying to discredit Huawei, and as a result, they dropped the issue and stopped reporting on it. Remember, China's the land of shortcuts and facades, and face and pride trump everything else. I think the message is clear. Chinese cars are not up to the task. If you're buying a Chinese car, you're gambling with your life and the life of your loved ones. China is not Korea or Japan. They will not responsibly improve. Under the CCP, they will continue to take shortcuts in quality and manufacture. Do not risk the lives of yourself and your loved ones in a Chinese car. I know. I purchased a Chinese car brand new in China and drove it for years. I can say with confidence that it's not worth it. Guys, please join me on Friday for the China show. It's a live show I do with my friend Lau86 where we talk about the latest news coming out of China, the funny stuff, the propaganda, the ridiculous attempts at propaganda anyway, and everything in between. And until next time, unlike these overhyped Chinese EVs, which still have a very long way to go before they can be considered safe, stay awesome.